just doing that the other day. There it is.
No, it's not the 12th.
Oh, I did that. That's just what Bob and I did yesterday. Shoot, sorry. Try it again, Janet.
I need a 919.
Okay, those are okay. Let's try that again. Okay, there it is. Sorry, I figured because it was first minute. Okay, there you go.
Okay, cool. Okay. So and this will have the links embedded in it, right?
It will.
Okay, good. Okay.
So let me make this.
Yeah, I'm not good without a mouse, but
I can probably do it as long as we have the stuff here.
My little trick is oh wow.
Now
we need to let people in.
Okay. Now, if we can just go down the script just to make sure that those links are there, because we need to put them in right away.
Go down to the big yellow bar.
There you go. Okay, fine. Okay.
And the trick is
there's the links.
Okay.
That unless people are actually in the meeting, they don't get it. So I typically put in, like, I'll say, here's the link to the order of service, and then maybe put it in again in a few minutes.
Wait a moment. They'll see it if they scroll up. They'll see it at the top, right?
No, if they enter, like if I came into the meeting now and you'd already posted in chat, you don't see
it at all.
So
we just do it. Where's the damn cursor? There it is. Okay.
So you want to copy that first part too.
That's what I'm doing, right?
Well, you want to say the green words.
I get it. Okay.
And then there you go. I'm going to admit, and then we can put it down in here.
Right.
And we probably should start recording as soon as it's.
You're right.
Wait for the.
No, we meant to start recording at this time. We have to start recording at this time. Okay, so it's
Click on more. Record to the cloud.
Yeah, record to the cloud.
Recording in progress.
Don't we want live transcript as well?
Yeah. Excellent. Okay, so you can do an admit all.
Or admit all. Yeah.
There's a lot of people here.
Okay.
You know what you're doing. Oh, this is a great.
Well, no, I know what I'm doing until I don't know what I'm doing.
No, we are muted. Okay. And let's change your name.
No,
But this is on.
This is working.
This is working.
Is this working? This is working. I think I might be working over here too.
I think all the mics are working. Is the keyboard coming through? Is the keyboard working?
Are we getting keys and bass through that?
Yeah? Thank you. I got the green chicken apiece here.
Thank you, Nina Peterson, for telling us that we hear everything. Wonderful.
No, maybe that is what it is, but it's been that way for a long time. It's time. Well, we had it.
Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Boulder on this beautiful, warm fall, September 19th, 2021. My name is Sharon Ballou, and I'm pleased to be your worship leader for today's service. We welcome all to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Boulder. All of you are welcome and all of you are sacred. Whatever your past was like, whatever this present moment is like for you, we invite you to journey into the future together. And welcome all of you who are joining via the magic of the internet. The chat box will be open if you need to get a message to us. If you are a new online visitor, please email our office administrator, Amy Sven, and let us know how you found us. You will find her email listed in the Zoom chat. Our church website also has a great deal of information about UUCB, our programs, and our activities. Please ensure that your microphones are off, remain muted, as you join with the others gathered for this worship.
Good morning, my friends. It's so wonderful to see you in person and on Zoom. It's an honor and a joy to be with you this morning. So I invite you now to settle into your seats and relax and take in these words in this beautiful setting. Come away, my friends, from the busyness of daily life. Come into a sacred space where you are held in sanctuary by nature and the love and care of this community. Come away, my friends, from the stresses of life. Come in to this quiet place of safety and rest. Come away from all that weighs you down, making you weary with worry, and feel the changing season calling you back to your heart and your soul. For a short while, come away from a hostile, fearful world full of suspicion and mistrust, bigotry and hatred, and come into this sanctuary of belonging, where you are held by the love and healing power of friendship and goodwill. Come, my friends, into this sacred sanctuary of beloved community to rest and find your true selves once again. Welcome home.
We invite you to sing gently beneath your masks and clap or snap vigorously as we sing good morning to you. 2, ready, and good morning, good morning, good morning, gonna be a great day. I said a good morning, good morning, good morning, gonna be a great day. I said a good morning, good morning, good morning, gonna be a great day. Wake up, it's a new day. Get up on your feet, get out of your seat. Wake up, it's a new day. Get up on your feet, get up, wake up. Good morning, good morning, good morning, gonna be a great day. I said a good morning, good morning, good morning, gonna be a great day. We are better together when we care for each other. We are better together when we connect from the heart. We are better together when we care for each other. We are better together when we connect from the heart. We are better together when we care for each other. We are better together when we connect from the heart. We are better together when we care for each other. We are better together when we connect from the heart.
If you are joining us online and have a candle or a chalice near your computer, please get ready to light it. We invite you to type into the chat box where your chalice is lit, the street or the neighborhood, or what city if you're joining us from outside Boulder County. I'd also like to invite any of the children to join Reverend Dana for lighting this morning's chalice after she tells the story.
Thank you. So years ago, many more than 3 years ago, I used to be a music teacher and a band director. And the last place that I taught was Jefferson Elementary School in Greeley, Colorado. Well, you see, there were these 3 second grade boys, that suddenly decided that they were going to cause trouble every single day. They vandalized the bathrooms, and they ruined materials in their classroom, and they started fights on the playground. And no one knew why they were suddenly doing this. But clearly it was planned. But the more that they were punished, the worse they acted out. And I was guessing that maybe deep down, they were convinced that they were bad kids and that they were hurting and desperate to be loved. I knew they had a challenging home life. Well, I had about 15 keyboards set up in my classroom. I know Amy can relate to this. Woo-hoo. And one day, there were 3 small adapters that went missing. Well, no one ever stole anything from me, and I was not about to allow this precedent to begin. So I threw a fit. I told each and every class that I had to have those adapters back. You would have thought that they were made of pure gold. Well, after a couple of days, a few kids came to me to tell me that it was these same boys who stole the adapters. Well, what are we going to do with these boys? Oh my gosh, nothing was working. Nothing was getting through to them. But I was convinced that by punishing them, that was the last thing they needed. So I finally decided to try a ritual that I read about from the Babembe tribe in Burkina Faso in Africa. So the next time they came into my classroom, we all sat on the floor in a big circle as usual. And then I asked these 3 boys to please sit in the center of the circle. Oh, they suddenly looked very anxious. What was Miss Lightsey up to this time? I explained about the adapters. All the kids already knew who took them, and all the trouble that these kids had been causing at school. And then I told them, I don't believe you want all this trouble. You have just forgotten who you are, so we are going to remind you. I was a bit nervous and had no idea what to expect, but one by one, we started going around the circle, and each of the children spoke about what they appreciated about each of these boys. Jose, thank you for helping me carry in the equipment from the playground. Johnny, thank you for being kind to me when my dog died. Raul, you are my best friend, and I love to play with you. Suddenly, this everyday class became one of those rare moments in life when you witness transformation before your very eyes. We barely made it through 3 people, and all of the boys were beginning to cry. I gave them tissues, and we continued. I was astounded how each child in the circle had something brilliant and beautiful to share. It was like these boys had been drowning, and each child was throwing them a lifeline, trying to save them. And it didn't take long before we were all filled with great compassion for these boys, and tears were flowing among all of us. And then, out of their pockets came the adapters. And through the tears, their apologies. We welcomed them back into our circle of friendship, and we sang and danced and played. And if ever there was a holy and sacred moment in my life, this was it. All those lifelines held these young boys, lifting them until they were literally saved by the love and healing power of their own community. We reminded them that they were better than they had been behaving, and then what they believed about themselves. We called forth their truest nature and sang their songs back to them until they too began to remember who they truly were and where they belonged. I didn't know it, but those adapters were more priceless than gold. Each time you say something nice or helpful, each time you make a choice to be kind instead of critical, each time you forgive or include someone who is left out, you are throwing that person a lifeline and helping to bring them into your shelter of friendship and community. This, my friends, is how we save lives. So, I invite anyone who is going to be going to class, any children or anyone who considers themselves children, to come up and join me and help me light the chalice. Would you do that, please? And as they're coming up, we're going to say our usual chalice lighting. Come on up, you guys. Callum, come here. You can bring your mommy, it's okay. Good. Oh, hi, guys, come on up. Good, hi. Hi, I'm so glad to see you. Okay, we added a small part to the end of our chalice lighting where we say, why? Because we make it so. So, hi guys, so good to see you. Come on up. Callum, you want to hold my hand? No, it's okay. You don't have to. You can if you want to. No? Okay. Do you want to go back with your mom? Okay. Liz, you can stay. Hi, good to see you. Okay. Hi guys, darling. Good. Isn't it great to see our kids? You've been missing them, haven't you? I know. Here we go. We celebrate Unitarian Universalism. This is the church of the loving heart. This is the church of the open mind. And this is the church of the helping hands. Why? Because we make it so. Loving heart, open mind, helping hands, we make it so. All right, thanks, you guys. You want to help me hold this? Okay, you can hang on to it. There we go. Now we're going to pull that back and it's going to go up. There we go. All right, thank you. Now we're going to sing you guys off to class. I hope you have a good time today. Please join me.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Thank you. We now invite all those gathered in your various locations to join together in fellowship and community as we all say aloud our congregation's covenant. Please repeat each line after me. We gather in fellowship to speak truth to each other. To reach out and touch one another.
To reach out and touch one another.
To care with each other.
With each other.
And to seek the truth divine.
And to seek the truth divine.
So be it.
So, what is a lifeline? It isn't just an inanimate object, but a line that transmits life to you or from you. One of the most powerful lifelines we can give to each other is forgiveness. So I invite you now into a spirit of meditation as we invite the lifelines of forgiveness to lift us up, as we are also throwing lifelines of forgiveness out to all of our loved ones in our interconnected web of community.
We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
For all of the ways we fall short and others fall short of our expectations, and all the ways we fail to meet others' expectations of us.
We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
For each time our fears have made us rigid and inaccessible, and each time we have struck out in anger without just cause.
We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
For each time our greed and selfishness has blinded us to others' needs and set us apart and alone.
We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
For all the ways that we have lost sight of our unity and have fueled the illusion of separateness.
We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
Restored by love and forgiveness, may we begin again. And now, for those of you that are on Zoom, I invite you to share your joys and sorrows in the Zoom chat, and I will read a few of them as they come along. we hold each other in love. And I imagine these lifelines coming from us and coming into us, creating this interconnected web of lifelines. I invite you to look up at the trees, look at the nature, and imagine these lifelines coming down to you from nature. Imagine them coming from each other, holding us, creating a true canopy that is our sanctuary. Will Kropp asks us to share our blessings and love with Ingrid and her family. And I would add a couple of happy birthdays for baby Elizabeth, who's 2 now, and Bryant, who is now 13. He says, may we continue to be a lifeline for Ingrid. May that be so. We'll just take a few moments. And I want to mention our dear friend Dave Powers, who was the person who healed our building so many times, fixing things with his beautiful spirit and his hammer. And he is now in the process of dying at a very young age, in his 30s, I believe. May we hold him with our love. May we hold all of the Afghan refugees trying to make their way, and all of the Haitian refugees who are being sent away, all of the refugees who are traveling, trying to find a safe place. Invite us into a moment of silence. And Dorothy writes, I am thinking about all the victims of climate change that are suffering this morning. Indeed, known and unknown, human and non-human, and all the suffering in the world. And all the joy in the world, for they are one coin, 2 sides. And a ritual is an outward expression of an inward experience. We invest ritual with meaning that wells up from within and beyond us, but it moves in both directions. Rituals change and transform us in the process. Here, this table in front of me has 2 trays and 2 bowls. Each tray is filled with ordinary yet extraordinary dirt. Earth formed of 1,000 generations of cottonwood and aspen leaves, watered by snowmelt and thunderstorms and burned by fire, mulched by buffalo and prairie dogs. And we honor this land of the Ute and Arapaho people, this very sacred earth. And these bowls contain stones from the Boulder Creek, little pieces of mountain with their rough edges smoothed by time and water and motion. For those together meeting in person today, I invite you to come forward as you feel moved, silently taking a stone and placing it into the earth to symbolize your joys and your cares, taking their place in a larger whole, mingling with each other and held in the hand of the earth. As the music continues, please form a line off to my left as you feel comfortable, or you can raise a hand and I will put a stone in for you. And for those of you gathering online, I invite you to continue sharing in the chat. Right over here.
Oh, he dort zirtet, ut zirtet, ut beke, ul beke, ut aldash, ul aldash, ut ishten, ul ishten, ut zik zik, ninsen. Where there is faith, there is love. Where there is love, there is peace. Where there is peace, there is blessing. Where there is blessing, there is God. Where there is God, there is no need. Oh, he dort zirtet, ut zirtet, ut beke, ul beke, ut aldash, ul aldash, ut ishten, ul ishten, ut zik zik, ninsen. Where there is God, there is no need.
For all of these blessings and concerns, spoken and unspoken, we hold this compassionate space. We hold this compassionate space with love. Thank you for creating this beautiful sanctuary of love that blesses each and every one of us. Amen. So, my friends, I'm wondering, how is your joy factor going? How is that level of joy in your life these days? I don't know about you, but mine has been very challenged, and I'm guessing yours has too. And as I think about it, I'm not sure we even really understand the definition of joy. According to the Oxford Dictionary, it says that joy is a feeling of great pleasure and happiness. Thumbs up if you think that's a good definition. Okay, all right. So that can be a quiet joy, or it can be an exuberant one. And Khalil Gibran tells us from his great book, The Prophet, some of you say, joy is greater than sorrow, and others say, nay, sorrow is the greater. But I say unto you, they are inseparable. Together they come, and when one sits alone with you at your board, remember that the other is asleep on your bed. So how, my friends, in these times of difficulty and challenge, beyond anything most of us have experienced in our lives, how do we not get lost in despair? How do people throughout time and history cope with disasters, unrest, and even war? What lifelines keep you from drowning and keep them from drowning? Yes, we may survive, but one can emotionally and psychologically and spiritually drown even as the body continues. So how do we return to joy? I find great wisdom from the Holocaust survivor and one of the great thinkers of the 20th century, Viktor Frankl. And Viktor Frankl said of his days at Auschwitz, one evening, when we were already resting on the floor of our hut, dead tired, soup bowls in hand, a fellow prisoner rushed in and asked us to run out to the assembly grounds and see the wonderful sunset. Standing outside, we saw sinister clouds glowing in the west and the whole sky alive with clouds of ever-changing shapes and colors, from steel blue to blood red. The desolate gray mud huts provide a sharp contrast, while the puddles on the muddy ground reflect the glowing sky. Then, after minutes of moving silence, one prisoner said to another, "How beautiful the world could be. How beautiful the world could be." He also says that even though conditions such as lack of sleep, insufficient food, and various mental stresses may suggest that the inmates were bound to react in certain ways, in the final analysis, it became clear that the sort of person the prisoner became was the result of an inner decision and not the result of camp influences alone. I have often thought that somehow it is a betrayal to feel joy when others are suffering, that I must suffer with them. And I've often wondered, how could grass continue to grow on a battlefield? Or a beautiful sunset shine its beauty over a great tragedy and devastation? It takes joy and love and hope to create beauty and to grow. Are these things oblivious to what just happened here? I don't think so. I think it is the only healing balm that is left, to hold the suffering and transform it into new life. That's what we too must do. but we need one another. And we need to be held with these lifelines within this community to be sustained. Viktor Frankl again says, everything can be taken from a man or a human, but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. And therein, my words, and therein lies our ability to resist and reconstitute ourselves. So our theme this month is embracing possibility for the month of September. And we don't have all the answers for fixing the problems of the world. I wish we did. But we will never find them if we are coming at trying to solve them from a frame of mind of fear and despair. And we cannot return to possibility and creativity until we find our way back to joy. I was very touched by an email that Lori Ventimiglia sent a few weeks ago. Lori is part of the teepee raisers that we work with on Pine Ridge Indian Reservation. They are also working on the Hopi Reservation and the Navajo Reservation now. And she shared a lengthy quote from the Indian chief White Eagle, the Hopi Indian chief White Eagle, that I would like to share with you. This moment humanity is experiencing can be seen as a door or a hole, and the decision to fall in the hole or walk through the door is up to you. If you consume the news 24 hours a day with a negative energy, constantly nervous, with pessimism, you will fall into this hole. Anybody been in that hole? Count me in. I have been, just recently. But if you take the opportunity to look at yourself and to rethink life and death, to take care of yourself and others, then you will walk through the portal. Take care of your home and take care of your body. Connect with your spiritual home. These are the lifelines. Connect with your spiritual home. When you take care of yourself, you take care of everyone at the same time. Do not underestimate the spiritual dimension of this crisis. Take the perspective of an eagle or a plane flying over that sees everything from above with a broader view. There is a social question in this crisis, but also a spiritual question, and the two go hand in hand. Without the social dimension, we fall into fanaticism, and without the spiritual dimension, we fall into pessimism and futility. So grab your toolbox and use all the tools at your disposal. Learn resistance from the example of Indian and African peoples. We have been and are exterminated, but we never stopped singing, dancing, lighting a fire, and rejoicing. Don't feel guilty for feeling blessed in these troubled times. Being sad or angry doesn't help at all. Resistance is resistance through joy. You have the right to be strong and positive, and there's no other way to do it than to maintain a beautiful and happy, bright posture. Has nothing to do with alienation, ignorance of the world. It's a resistance strategy. When we cross the threshold, we have a new world view because we faced our fears and difficulties. This is all you can do right now. Serenity in the storm. Keep calm and pray every day. Make a habit of meeting the sacred every day. Show resistance through art, joy, trust, and love. I love that, making a habit of meeting the sacred every day. That's connecting directly into that lifeline, whatever that means to you, however you connect with the sacred every day. And show resistance through art, joy, trust, and love. Where do you find your joy? What lights you up? Spending time doing that which lights you up and gives you joy is critically important to sustaining yourself right now. Now and always, but especially now. Sources of joy are trying to throw you lifelines all the time, everywhere you go. Nature sings joy endlessly through beauty. And when times are difficult, we have to choose joy and work at it. We actually have to work at it to make that choice that Viktor Frankl talks about, not as a way of bypassing or ignoring or dismissing the suffering, but as our answer to it. It is the beginning of healing. Gratitude also brings joy. They are almost one and the same. That's how I experience them. Can you feel joy without gratitude? I'm not sure. Our world needs people who can keep their energy grounded in joy, seeing possibilities. For this is how we will pave a new path towards hope. We need to support each other in this community, in this sanctuary of belonging. We need to support each other as we become those people finding the solutions. And I just want to close with a quote from Elizabeth Gilbert from Eat, Pray, Love. In the end, she says, though we must all give up, maybe we must all give up trying to pay back the people in this world who sustain our lives. In the end, maybe it's wiser to surrender before the miraculous scope of human generosity and just keep saying thank you forever and sincerely for as long as we have voices. End quote. And my friends, in the end, maybe there are no more words to take us into joy other than Alleluia.
This month, we share our offering. This month, we share our offering plate with Emerge, Rise Against Suicide. Here is a message from board member Andy Jason. She says, quote, "My life changed forever in 2010 when my 16-year-old son died by suicide. I was devastated. I looked out at the sea of teens at my son's memorial service and I thought, not one more. I implored those teens to realize that they belong here on this earth and in moments of despair that they should reach out. Did you know that suicide is the second leading cause of death for young people in the United States? In Colorado, it's the leading cause. Rise Against Suicide's mission is to ensure that our local youth who are struggling with suicidal thoughts can get saving therapy that they would otherwise be unable to afford. Can you imagine being a parent with a child who is struggling and being told that your insurance does not cover mental health? Or that you have a $1,000 deductible, or that there's no one available to see your child until 3 months from now? If you want to help, here are several things you can do. First, tell people about us. We've expanded our entry avenues, and parents and kids can reach out to us directly if they're unable to do so through their school counselor. Secondly, help fundraise for us. We're funded by grants, foundations, donations by business community, by faith community partners, and by individuals. Thirdly, if you know any licensed therapist who would be interested in working with us, please ask them to contact us. We're always looking for new providers, and we have an ongoing special need for bilingual therapists. I believe if we catch our children and teens in those moments when they need it the most, they can find hope and learn resiliency skills so that they can live long and happy lives. Thank you for listening and being part of the solution." End quote. For today's offering, please remain seated as you are, and the ushers will come among you during the musical interlude which follows. For those of you joining us remotely, you can make a donation now using the link posted in our chat by sending a check to UUCB or scanning the QR code on the next slide with your mobile phone. I invite you to give as generously as you are able. May our gifts be used to enact justice, bringing peace and harmony to the Boulder community.
So, my friends, as we begin to close, I invite you to take a few moments and just appreciate all of the people who are part of this community, who have always been a part of this community, and who will be a part of this community in the future. Together we create a sanctuary of beloved community. I especially want to thank our small army of people who make this happen every week now. It is brilliant. Yeah, a round of applause is quite due. So Yahoo, all of you on Zoom, everyone who's running Zoom, everyone who's running the audio equipment, all the people that we have volunteering with the kids over on the other side, our awesome musicians, our awesome worship leader. Woohoo! Hey, if that doesn't bring you joy, I don't know what will. I can tell you, it brings me great joy. And I also want to say that if you're feeling sorrow, feel sorrow. But remember that joy is just around the corner and is also holding your hand. I share with you in closing words from Adrian Rich. My heart is moved by all I cannot save. Do you want to say this with me? I'll say a line, you say it back. My heart is moved by all I cannot save.
My heart is moved by all I cannot save.
So much has been destroyed.
So much has been destroyed.
I have to cast my lot with those
I have to cast my lot with those
who age after age perversely, with no extraordinary power,
with no extraordinary power,
reconstitute the world.
reconstitute the world.
May we continue to reconstitute the world with our joy and our love and our connection. May it be so. Keep throwing those lifelines. Amen.
Go your way in peace, wander as you may. Blessed is the path you take, may love guide you on your way. Go your way in peace, wander as you may. Blessed is the path you take, may love guide you on
Recording stopped.
We invite you to stay with us in our Zoom rooms for a time of online fellowship and discussion. If you're here, stay here for a bit.